Millions of dollars in our stores by asking our customers to join with us in really making a $5 donation and putting this wristband on. We've raised millions of dollars that has turned into $100 million in low-interest loans. And the issue at hand, Joe, is this fact. As we saw in a debate last night, small business is the engine of job creation in America, about 65% of all new jobs. And what we discovered over the past year or so is that small businesses across the country, despite what many of the banks have been saying, have not had access to credit. So what we've been able to do is provide low-interest loans to those businesses who have not been able to get credit. This has been able to be a catalyst for job creation, and we've created thousands of jobs as a result of it. And what I would say is that we've watched now for over a year 14, 15 million people unemployed, and we've all started to become immune to these numbers. I'm sitting in Houston today, and we're holding a leadership conference with 12,000 Starbucks partners. And I've been in the Fifth Ward, a place in America that if you saw it, you would be hard-pressed to believe that we're looking at a community that is part of the United States. These people have been left behind. And I think we're going about our daily work in America like everything is fine. There's so many people being left behind, and what we have felt at Starbucks is that we can't wait for government solutions. We can't wait for the political people who are in power to do the right thing, because unfortunately we're facing a situation where there's just so much polarization, and businesses have to step up and do their share. We've also found, I think this is really important for other businesses to understand, is that our customers and our people have been inspired by what we're trying to do. This is not a marketing campaign. This is not for PR. This is just trying to advance the cause of humanity in America and do the right thing.
Howard, in your letter,
most of the letters that I received were personal letters of despair. Letters that came from people across the country who had lost their jobs, can't send their kids to school, lost their house, people who were in need. I got much more of those letters than inspirational stories. And I think this is, once again, emblematic of the fact that we have such a deep level of responsibility to try and help those people who are being left behind. And I think, Arianna, the work that you did during the conventions and raising awareness, and even last night, whether you're Republican or Democrat, at least we're beginning to crystallize and demonstrate to the American people the critical nature of these issues. And what I'm hoping, as in terms of the election, whether the governor or the president gets reelected, is that we get past this divide, and once and for all, we start doing the things that these people in Washington have been sent to do, and that is represent all of America.
And Howard, you have other...
Almost 200 CEOs signed a pledge at the time, and that pledge was to ask people to stop giving funds to incumbents until we saw a level of civility, respect, and compromise. Now, we have released those CEOs from that commitment because a year has passed. But unfortunately, we have not seen the level of civility and respect that we need. I mean, we're facing the fiscal cliff. The debt ceiling debacle that we saw a year ago is still hanging over the country. The S&P is threatening another level of grade reduction in terms of America's debt. I mean, we have serious problems. And all I'm trying to do as a leader of a public company, and I know it's somewhat unprecedented or unorthodox, is just use the platform that we have to try and make a difference in a bipartisan way, and really, I think, leverage the platform that Starbucks has to try and help those people who can't help themselves.
Howard, I know that this is
about the issues of regulation. I'm not a banker. I speak to people who are running banks, and there seems to be a level of disagreement about really what's going on and what the bank's policy is. But if you talk to these small businesses who are in dire need of credit, what they're saying to me is that the levels of bureaucracy and what they have to go through today versus in the past for their core business to get access to credit is very, very different. That the regulations, the standards, and the fear that the banks have in making the kind of loans that were made 2-3 years ago is a different story. So what I would say is I can't say with specificity what the structure within these banks now are, but I can tell you that the level of fluidity in terms of money flowing to small businesses that could create jobs is not happening. And if I could just make one other point about the macro issue. We have a situation right now in America where if we look to Europe and we look to China, the situation in China today is not what it was 5 years ago. And what I mean by that specifically is that China is facing their own issues of a different kind of growth. They're healthy and they will continue to grow, but not at the level they were. In Europe, we see a situation in which the Eurozone is under tremendous pressure. The reason I'm bringing these 2 points up is this is an opportunity for America to establish a new level of leadership and competitiveness in the world. And we should seize this opportunity instead of fighting with one another over policies that have nothing to do with advancing America's progress around the world.
You know, the one thing that